Hi, it's Ed Kaminsky. We're checking in here, Manhattan Beach, California, with David Houck from Houck Construction. You know, if you're going through this process, how can you guess what the cost of a remodel might be without going through the whole process of getting formal bids and things like that? And
with my experience, I can put quickly what I think should be spent on it. But I like to tell people this: the design will dictate the budget, or the budget will dictate the design. Go backwards. What's the appropriate level of investment for this house, and then how can I maximize what I get out of that?
Right.
It has to do with really what the market will bear in that area and what's a wise investment, and then the person's needs that they have. So square footage costs get tossed around a lot in your business as well. But square footage, when you talk about construction, is a little bit odd because they take all the money that you're spending, the design and the hardscape, and if there's a pool, total cost, and divide it by the square footage, yet that's not really what the square footage cost is of the construction. So when you ask people, you get different numbers, and it's not a great comparison.
Right. So what words of advice would you give someone if they have a big project, they go out and bid it with someone like you, and it comes back and it says it's $1 million? How do you know if it's what their expectations are and what the home is ultimately going to look like? Is there a good way to quickly judge how to match the expectations of the client with the budget?
Well, the nice thing about materials now is you've got, tiles that used to be really expensive. Somebody's come up with a way to produce them much more economically. Now you can take any tile that's a rectangle or square and have somebody put it in awful. You're really kind of hurting your value.
Sure.
And then you could have somebody take a really inexpensive tile and do a beautiful job installing it, and you're adding value that way. And so as a contractor that does design and build, there becomes a nice connection because I'm somebody that gets aesthetics. That can be a decision as far as when you're doing a remodel or an addition. Do you need an outside interior designer, which is kind of a luxury for people, or can you be guided on your tile selections and your countertop selections by the contractor you're working with?
It sounds like asking a lot of questions is helpful in this process.